What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Creator Commentary. Today, I have with me the one, the only Frank Nordstrom, who does the voice of Atticus, a.k.a. Bigfoot. How's it going, my man? How you been?
It's going well. Life's life and keeping on. And yeah, surviving the winter we're having. And it's nice to chat. Nice to have an excuse to get in a call.
100%. And you know what, man? For those of you who don't know, Frank is actually located here in Saskatchewan with me, so he's witnessing the same type of weather that I have, which is the minus 40s and the wind of 100 kilometers or 60 miles per hour and all that fun stuff. But so a little bit of history about Frank here. I found him. He and I share the same agency. I think you're still with Edge Agency, correct?
I sure am.
Yeah, so Frank and I shared the same agency, and so when I sent out a request to my agent asking, like, hey, is there any other people who do voice acting? I'm looking for a few actors to do this animated series with me, and you were quite literally one of the first to send in, and I was so fucking ecstatic when I heard your rendition. So what happened was Frank sent in an audition or voice audition tape of roughly, I think it was three different takes, one for each character. And luckily, I heard your rendition of Atticus. And after that, dude, I couldn't unhear Atticus. And when I listened to your tape of Frank's version of Lenny, I'm like, that's just Atticus pretending to be Lenny. And then you did it the Sticks. I'm like, no, that's just Atticus trying to be Sticks. So kudos to you for hitting the nail on the head, man. I'm so happy I found you. But tell me, man, like what got you into voice acting in the first place?
Yeah, it kind of started in high school. I was the public address announcer for the basketball tournaments that would happen and the whatever sport was going on. I was
Yeah,
the guy on the mic doing like the 2 points scored for that kind of shtick that was happening. And
yeah.
then got did some of that in university as I was doing my degree. And one of the guys I worked for there was like, hey, I'm doing a commercial in need of a voice. Do you want to come try this thing out? So we recorded in his garage. It was like a blanket thrown over a weight rack kind of situation with a mic in the
Yeah,
middle
yeah.
and had a ton of fun with it. Had the opportunity to keep playing with that with him for a little bit and eventually just keep finding opportunities to yell in a microphone in different voices, different styles, different ways.
Yeah. Now, was this, I mean, your voice is very distinct. Was this something like at a young age that you found, were you finding this earlier on, even before high school? Or was that pinnacle point when you were doing the basketball announcing where it was like, oh, okay, you're realizing then that you have this gift essentially?
Yeah, like that was the start of it. I grew up in small town Saskatchewan, 200 people. Like there wasn't anyone doing anything of this in any way. So it was just
Yeah.
kind of fun to learn that as I got into high school and moved to Regina
Yeah.
and became a theater kid. We did all of the musicals and improv and everything like that. And so it kind of tied its way nicely into, finding ways to play and to have fun with it.
Yeah, 100%. When I was snooping around Edge Agency website looking for photos because I'm using your face in a pitch deck. Right now, I'm applying for a Creative SAS grant to try and do a short film. I'll discuss that with you later. But I noticed I wasn't finding you in the acting, or was it? Yeah, I didn't see you in the acting section. Is it you don't do the acting? You're kind of off the grid acting wise, and then just solely focused on voice acting, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, it's pretty much all voice acting. Mostly this is a hobby. I work full time as a marketing consultant. So I've got that gig that pays the bills. And then this is an excuse to have some fun, to be some different characters to play a bit. I've
Yeah.
done a couple of commercial things that they've sent my way and I've auditioned for through the agency, but it's, yeah, just to prefer the voice side. I can do it from the comfort of my house and the booth beside me. And it gets to
Yeah.
just kind of, you can jump in and play and really make it your own.
Yeah, and you know what? It was fun. When I got your rendition, or when you and I started working together, I kind of started taking my sound booth game a little serious. I'm like, well, fuck. If Frank's got the sound booth, I got to have a sound booth. So I set one up in my walk-in closet. And so you haven't had the luxury of recording in my closet, but Lucas, who does Lenny, anytime he does recordings for me, it's in my closet. So it's just so funny, these grown ass men hanging out in a walk-in closet. But one thing that I started to mess around with was different types of voices and stuff as well, because I do some of the side characters in the sketches. For
Mhm.
instance, the Bigfoot one, where you come in and you save myself and Lucas from being hung, and I play the little old lady, I play the priest, and so I'm like trying to cut corners cost wise, but also having my own fun because I'm like, yo, this is actually a blast, man. So it's like, it's cool. It really is a cool where you can like for 5, 10 minutes at a time, just totally reinvent yourself for a little bit, you know?
Oh yeah. Like every character you play, even if it's a 30-second car ad, for those 30 seconds, you're still somebody else. So you're still playing. You got to just like over exaggerate, be a bit of a goof. And yeah,
Yeah,
whether you're a Sasquatch in the Old West or I'm trying to sell you a barbecue, it's all about just that exploration of what that voice means and how
yeah.
it has its own, every voice has its own like little secret to tell. And the more you can find that little secret, the more you can lean into that character.
Well, and it's also fun too because you're just like, oh, I didn't like because every voice has just a little bit of you in it as well, right?
Oh yeah.
It is the exploration of character, but it's also this is a part of me and like my rendition of what this old lady would sound like. But sometimes you surprise yourself, like, oh fuck, like how? Okay, cool, that's new.
Oh yeah, you give yourself license to play and you just get
Yeah,
to like whether you feel like today you're going to be a leprechaun or whatever you're doing, right? Like when I was starting off, I was working for an agency locally that did radio work
yeah,
and they had needed somebody like last minute, whoever their regular host was that would do these spots was sick. And they had me come in and be a leprechaun on the air selling like Joey's Only Pub kind of thing.
yeah,
And so it goes from you're like working your 9 to 5, and then you get in the booth and you're totally married into you. You're doing the whole like
yeah.
over exaggerated stereotype, and then it just builds from there. You get to play and be more absurd every time.
Well, and that's it, and it's kind of nice. Like, I mean, I've done enough acting that I can do it in front of other people, but you really, when you're in that booth by yourself, you're really like, I found myself, I was using my hands and I'm like, yeah, like, what's going on here? And like, just really, just my whole fucking mind, body, and soul was in it, right? But that's the nice part about animation is you can explore these different characters that are within you and you can have so much fun with it. So like, tell me, what's kind of your favorite part about doing Atticus?
He's just such a unique little guy, just so chill. It's such a license to be this absurd level of relaxed.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
because we remove the any implication he's a human right away. It's not like a
Yeah.
big secret that he's holding. He is just Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And so you get to really lean into that character side where it's so relaxed, so chill. He is so unbothered by the lunatics that he works with that he gets to just be that sort of chill to the point where he's the straight man in the piece. And then
Yeah.
when you get to sneak those little lines in, or he has a moment where he breaks and he's not that chill anymore, you really get to play and over exaggerate both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I'm glad that came through with the character because that's like 100% how we created him. It was just like, this is a dude who is so far from accepted by society that he is so dedicated to his friends because they don't give a fuck what he is that he'll just be you know what like what are you going to do about it, but he's very much the brains of the operation. He's very
Yeah.
much he's always in control no matter the lunacy that's going on around him. But I also like how we were, for instance, on the most recent one where I got to go see the vet, and even the way you do that line, it is fucking hilarious when it hits. I still laugh out loud, but it is just that. It's just chill. Like we need to go see the like. Oh fuck! Here, like we
Yeah.
need to go see the vet.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's. Go ahead.
His level of panic never changes, but you can tell it just switches enough that it's like, oh, something different has happened. Something new is something has
Well,
happened that's never happened before.
Well, and that's what I like about him as a character is because he's so one he's got one gear, but when he switches to that third or second or neutral, it's very noticeable, and I think that's what really creates the scene and why it's so much fun to play with him and his. I mean, like we have when we first created him, we create like there's this whole storyline of he comes from this one particular majestical forest, and he derives all this majestic power from magic mushrooms. And in order, like when he's dwindled of his energy or of his powers, he needs to get high on mushrooms, and that re-ups his batteries. And like, it was like, yo, there's just so much fun to play with, but also just to have that one. He's just that cool guy. He's the cool-headed guy in the scene at all times. Because yeah, the nice part he plays off well with Styx and Lenny are constantly bickering at each other, and then he comes in with that level-headedness and that like let's just keep on the straightened path here, and kudos to you for doing such an amazing job with him, man. I couldn't, I literally, you and Lucas both have done such a good job with these voices that I'm like, I couldn't imagine this I just really I couldn't imagine these shorts without you guys, like you've done so fucking well.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate that.
no, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time you've taken today and the time you put in for Atticus. As I said, there's going to be more coming down the pipeline, and that's for you viewers out there as well. You're going to be hearing and seeing a lot more of us down the road. But yes, I just one more time, man. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Nordstrom, aka Bigfoot, aka Atticus. So thank you very much for calling in, man, and I'll
Thank
chat with you
you.
soon here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome, brother.
Oh, Lenny, where's our money?
That Jezebel pulled the 12 days of Christmas on us. I invented that scam.
Where are you heading? The hideout's this way.
We need to go see the vet.
Hooey! The harlot strikes again.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my